Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Answer the Makers. Now, in this episode we'll cover all there is to know with a CNC Business Startup, what you need to get going. For those of you new to the channel, my name is Brenton Watt. I'm the owner of Stockfit and welcome to this episode. Okay guys, so starting your own CNC workshop is quite a simple procedure. It's not that complicated. Now the fundamentals of it is you basically need three things. You need a CNC machine, you need a computer that you can do your designs on and export to the CNC machine, and then once those parts are machined, you need to take them off and be able to trim them clean, assemble it, paint it, and have a deliverable item, a product, as something that you can give to the client. So you need three things. You need a CNC machine, a computer, and some hand tools. That's basically it. You don't need much more than that. Now, if we have to sort of go into each and every single thing, which we will do in this video, you'll notice that the idea is to keep it as flexible as possible for you, okay? My idea is not to overwhelm you and say you need 5,000 items in order for you to get started, because it's not the case. You can start whatever's comfortable for you. You can buy 3 or 4 hand tools, you can buy a small CNC machine, you can buy something that you can build up on, whatever. It's up to you. So, start with what you can, first of all. Now, obviously with a CNC workshop, the first thing that you need is a CNC machine. So people ask me, what's the best CNC machine for me? What should I buy? How can I get started? I get these questions all the time. And the answer is quite simple. First of all, you don't need the top of the line German precision whatever machine necessarily, okay? You can start with a basic machine, something a little bit more simplified, a hobbyist type of machine. The only thing that I can comment on is to make sure that if it's possible and you've got the money, to get yourself a CNC router that's got a decent spindle and a bed size of 2 by 3 meters so that you can accommodate a 6 by 9 board or a 1.8 by 2.7 meter board, which is a full sheet size. That's the best. That's going for gold. A decent spindle and a decent bed size is what you want, okay? Now, I know some of you get some of the, I don't want to call it a hobbyist machine because that would maybe be slightly condescending on a machine that is highly capable, but you do get hobbyist level machines that you build up out of aluminium extrusions and all kinds of things, which can be changed or altered or upgraded as you go. Now, if this is the route that you want to take and you want to start off with a machine and say, what's the smallest machine that I can start off with? I would recommend the 1.2 meter by 2.4 meter bed size, nothing smaller than that. The reason for that is, on Stockfit, the smaller items need to fit on a 1.2 by 2.4 meter. But there are a lot of bigger items that you might be interested in on the 2 by 3 meter bed sizes that you will not be able to manufacture if you've got a small bed. Now, personally, I would not recommend a small table size hobbyist type of machine, simply because that's not what Stockfit is about, and it's not scalable, and it's not something that you can really make a good business with, in my opinion. You could probably produce a couple of small parts for clients, and it's fine. You'll be able to do a little bit with that, but I don't think it's going to be a new business startup that you can sort of leave whatever full-time day job you've got in order to pursue. Personally, I don't think so. Stockfit is designed for people who want to get a CNC machine and start a serious business. That's the idea behind Stockfit. So, CNC machine, decent spindle, decent bed size. Those are the two factors when looking at a CNC machine. Obviously, the CNC machine needs to be positioned somewhere. So you will need space for it. You will need a garage space or a workshop space for this machine. I know that if you're living in Europe, space is a little bit of a concern, but you know, if you're in most other countries, I think it's not that difficult to get a spot for a CNC machine. So that's the one thing, okay? The next thing that you need is a computer that can run Fusion 360. Now, on the Windows side of things, it needs to be Windows 10 and later, I think Windows 10 and Windows 7 is no longer supported on the Fusion platform, as far as I can remember. So, a fairly new computer. Do you need something with insane processing power? Not really. You can take a look at the Autodesk Fusion website, and you'll be able to get all the minimum requirements on the site itself for the ideal Fusion 360 setup. But basically, Fusion 360 can run on almost any workstation, and anything that is less than 5 years old will run it. In fact, I ran Fusion 360 on old iMacs that were 10, 12 years old, and it worked like a bomb. So Fusion 360 is definitely the most capable software out there, which brings me to my next point. You've got your computer. Now there's tons and tons and tons of software out there for CNC machines that you get with machines and that sort of thing. I definitely recommend downloading Fusion 360 if you can. That would be a good start. All the Stockfit items are designed on Fusion 360, and all our tutorials are designed in and around Fusion 360. So, you need a CNC machine, you need a computer that runs Fusion 360 so that you can export files to your CNC machine. Good. Now, the next thing that we need would be a couple of hand tools. Now, if you're going to be using pneumatic tools, air tools, you will need a compressor, obviously. So, I'm going to say you need an air compressor somewhere. In my mind, it's an essential thing for a CNC workshop or a workshop to have a little bit of air tools there. You need to blow the dust off things, you need to clean things, you need to paint things, you need to use nail guns, and we use air tools for that. But you might not want to use air tools, you might want to go fully electric, which is fine. In which case, you need a nail gun, regardless of electric battery operated or a air pneumatic nail gun. You will need a nail gun. You will need a spray gun if you plan on spray painting the units that you complete. Okay, so that's a definite tool in your tool set that you will need. Then you're going to need a sanding machine of some sort. We use orbital sanders mostly, which is the round-headed sanders. It gets into small corners, it works quite well. You can buy 2 or 3 or 4 different type of sanding machines, but it's mostly handheld little sanders, just so you can get into the corners, polish it up, make sure that there's no glue and things sticking out on the assembly process. We also use a small hand trimmer, which we use to do little charm fit edges and to finish off the sharp edges on the items. We just basically trim it clean afterwards. And then you could have a jigsaw, although we don't use our jigsaw a lot. We usually try and do all the jigsaw work on the CNC machine to cut out all the parts. And then the last thing that you will need is a cordless drill, so that you can actually use normal screws to attach your hinges and runners for your drawers, maybe a couple of little hooks and handles and that type of thing, as part of the post-processing of your fully assembled unit. So basically those are the couple of tools. We'll put a list in our YouTube comment section where you can actually see the entire list of things that we need on the tool side of things. And then there's the consumables, obviously, that you'll need to get your startup going as well. But what I mean by consumables, sandpaper, router bits, drill bits, screws, all kinds of these little things that you need that form part of your day-to-day, actually glue, cleaning materials, those type of things. So it's not a complex set of things that you need. Basically, yeah, just router bits, you obviously have to stock up on some. Now, this entire Stockfit system is designed around 16mm MDF, super wood, what we call it in South Africa, super wood boards, okay? So we use the 1.8 by 2.7 meter boards, which is the 6x9s. So when you start your business, it's also advisable to make sure that you kind of have enough space to stack these boards. So on Stockfit, you will find one of our free little templates where we have a stacking system where we actually position these boards in an upright position without them falling over, made out of a single sheet of MDF. So you can download that and make your racking system for your MDF. And that's basically it. So that covers all the things there is to get started on Stockfit. Now, the next thing that you'll need is to obviously have enough space to do your work. And secondly, you'll need a delivery vehicle of some sort to take the items that you have completed, load them on a truck, get them to site, install them for a client, or deliver the goods. Now, the Stockfit system is not designed in and around having small little components and pieces that you can drop, ship, or send via a courier company and things like that. I know that in some countries you would be able to ship or deliver much bigger items, they've got those services available. In South Africa, we don't have those services available. So we have to have our own vehicle to deliver the items, the sizes that we usually work at. So with that being, keeping that in mind, maybe, you might have, I think in the US you've got U-Haul and a couple of other companies that you can sort of rent a truck quickly to deliver something. Or you can just do it yourself with a pickup truck or whatever it is that you've got. In our case, we've got a 5-ton closed box truck where we basically put all our items in and we deliver it and get it to site that way. So that covers all the things that you need to get started with your little workshop to get going on a commercial scale, I would say, a small commercial scale. Now, that's hardware. That's the hardware that you need to get going. And we will cover all the steps in this hardware section as we go through the tutorials and training materials and things that we've got on our website, which again brings me to our next point. Now, if you're starting and you've got your computer, you've got your software, you've got your CNC machine, and you're pretty much ready to go, the next question is, where do I begin? Okay. So if you go into the Stockfit.co website, you will notice that we've got the main website and then we've got the Stockfit Academy. Now, on the Stockfit Academy, you'll be able to do a short course. Some of those courses are free, some of them are paid, cheap but paid courses, for you to learn how to basically either design in the software, how to assemble, how to build, how to do all the things that you need to do. So basically, you can go onto the Stockfit Academy, learn what there is to learn, for you to be able to code CNC machines and build whatever needs to be built. And then we've got the Stockfit main website where you can download machine-ready G-code files ready to be built. Okay? So the idea behind that is to help you get momentum much quicker. When I started off, I got the machines and it took me years to develop my little system to get to a point where I could actually design and manufacture things quickly enough to make money. So Stockfit is designed to just give you the speed that you need to basically start off with a simple machine workshop setup and have access to this library where you can simply download models and start producing items as early as today, basically. So that's the idea behind Stockfit. So I hope that this was helpful. We've covered everything that there is to cover about getting started with a CNC startup business and the software and development side and things like that, in order for you to start producing CNC-related items easily. So it's a kind of a business-in-a-box solution. You've got to set yourself up, but Stockfit helps you do all the rest. Okay? Now, that covers the workshop space itself, plus how to actually manufacture things with a nice little catalog of things that you can make. In our next videos on Answer the Makers, we will be covering marketing strategies for CNC, how to get your things out there, who you can speak to, and that sort of thing. I mean, obviously, you've got to market yourself in order to make the sales. So we'll be covering that in the next video. I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you in the next Answer the Makers video.